Hello friends! So today I'm sitting down to film an update, a life update, because if you have just been following along with me here on my YouTube channel, you're probably like, this girl left for like 18 months and then comes back with a vlog of her 4th of July trip. Like, what is she doing? But my thought is probably a lot of you guys have been following along with me over on my Instagram or at least on my blog. But if not, I wanted to film this little sit down just in case. So if you're newer to my whole blog, Just Jessie B Life, then hopefully this will be just like a nice little update to catch you up to speed on kind of where I've been, where I'm coming from. And if you're brand new, welcome. Thank you for being here. And I'm so excited to share with you guys. So, okay, I'm gonna take you back to what was like one of my last videos, and I think that was around like September, October of 2017. I'm trying to keep the date straight. So I'm gonna kind of update you on where things have gone since then. So I think in that video I had on my engagement ring. I had just gotten engaged on my birthday, September 23rd, and my husband, my now husband, and I, so he was my boyfriend at the time, we had been together for a little over 5 years. It was almost, no, I think it was like 5 years. I'm gonna get confused. But basically, we met when I was in college. We dated for a couple of years, and then we moved in together. And when I started filming YouTube videos, we were living in our home here together. We had bought a house, and then we got engaged. So kind of a mixed up order of things compared to like whatever is traditional, you know? So we got engaged. We were engaged for 5 months, 5.5 months before we got married in March 2018. So we planned a quick wedding. It was small to me. We tried to keep it small. Like, it was hard to do that, to keep it just to like friends, really just like family type friends, you know, that like you almost consider family, and then otherwise just family, between the two of us, just our immediate family. Sorry, I have a baby monitor here. Made up around 75 people, and I have a blog post about it with like a bunch of pictures, so I'll put links to any like posts that I have that relate to this video. I'll put them below, but I have a ton of wedding photos on my website, so I'll link that here. But we got married at a winery. It was beautiful. We had the ceremony and the reception at the same spot, and then we took off to Hawaii like the next day, or I think 2 days later after the wedding. So that was amazing. It was the best time. At this time, I was working as a speech language pathologist. If you're newish, you might not know that about me, but I was working as an SLP. For short, it's basically a speech therapist is kind of the layman's term for it. And I was working with kids. I loved my job. I loved working with kids the most. But I've talked about this before where I loved the work I did, but I didn't always love the job. So doing my blog and kind of dipping my toes into YouTube and Instagram and different things like that were really like just like a relief to me. It was like that side hustle that like didn't feel like work, because the job part of my work really stressed me out and was hard on me. And it was always a dream, like, hey, maybe I could do like my blog and like make money, like real money. So it was always a dream. But it wasn't until right around that time when we got married last year that I started thinking like this could be something real. I started making real money for my blog, like real dollars that actually buy things and pay bills. And it just worked out that on our honeymoon, it was either the wedding night or the honeymoon, I got pregnant, which was the plan. Like, we really, really hoped to have a child very soon after getting married. And I got pregnant. And right around that time, it was like, hey, I've been making this amount of money for so long. I think I can leave my job. I think I can take that like leap of faith. It felt like secure enough. It was still a risk, but felt secure enough that like things had been happening financially to where I felt comfortable leaving. So I left my job as a speech therapist, and now I'm just Jessie B as my job. So that's been amazing. It's been hard work. I work a lot of hours, especially when I was pregnant. I worked a ton. And since I had my son, now I've kind of had to scale things back and like just kind of shift my priorities and how I get things done. But I work a lot. It's hard work, but it's really, really fun. So I'm super grateful for that opportunity to be able to work from home and be at home with my son. So I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but we found out we were pregnant just a couple weeks after the honeymoon. It was like March 24th. I think it was like exactly 2 weeks after our wedding. And then, yeah, I kind of just like, I was working on my business, but I really mentally like dove into pregnancy and like trying to just make my body be like the healthiest it could be. I had really focused on that prior to getting pregnant too. Which is why I feel like I could go on so many tangents here, but when I got married, I feel like leading up to the wedding, so many people, especially women, feel this pressure like I need to be in the best shape I've ever been in, I need to be my thinnest, and that was just not the priority for me. I was really focused on like balancing my hormones and just being like super healthy, regardless of the number on the scale, which was a big thing for me because in the past the number on the scale was very important to me. So I was proud of myself that I was able to focus on that, and it all worked out because I had a very healthy pregnancy. So I was due December 6th. I went exactly 1 week past due, and then I had my son Hudson. Through all this, I shared a ton on Instagram stories. That just became like so much easier for me than sharing on YouTube and like putting together like a, you know, not scripted, but like a formal video. It just became so easy and natural to be able to do that throughout the day. And I really just became more comfortable on camera, which if you look back at my older videos, I don't have that many videos here on YouTube, but that was a big thing that held me back. Was it was really awkward for me to sit down and like film a video. It just didn't come natural to me. And so I would like worry, like, is everything perfect? Like, am I looking okay? Like, I would really look at myself harshly because I would anticipate like the maybe rude comments that would come in. Now it's like, whatever. It depends on the day. Sometimes the comments still get to me, but most of the time I'm just like, let it go. Like, I'm just excited to be here and be sharing. And I put myself out there, and I know it's not always going to be perfectly positive, but my point is sharing over on Instagram stories really helped me build up my confidence, and helped me just like feel more comfortable on camera. And I loved just sharing that journey, especially while I was pregnant and like in the early stages of new mommyhood. But I'm at a point where Instagram has just been frustrating me. So I'm really excited to get back into YouTube. Of course, I'm gonna still share on my Instagram stories. It's so great for just like those like off the cuff, like random moments, and just to kind of share like time sensitive things and little bits of like my son and me and whatever. But as far as sharing like deeper content, really getting into things, showing like, you know, bits and pieces of my day and being able to put something cohesive together, I'm really looking forward to getting back into that. I'm also really looking forward to just having like a permanent home for my content, because right now I post things on Instagram stories. I have blog posts, which are mostly recipes, but anything lifestyle, which has become such a huge part of what I do, like clean beauty and like just clean living and healthy living, a lot of that has been living on my Instagram stories, and I can only have so many highlights on my Instagram. And sometimes it's like, okay, to get through, you know, the clothing highlight, to find an outfit that I wore recently, you have to go through all these old highlights. It's just kind of a mess over there. So I'm excited to be back here, be able to post some links to things, and they'll have a home, and just kind of put things together that are a little bit more cohesive and like a little more planned out. So yeah, very excited about this. Quickly before I get back into my timeline, let me know down below like what videos you would most like to see from me. I have a lot of ideas, but I'm always open to hearing what you guys like to see. So anyways, back to around December, I had my son. His name is Hudson Gray Bittner. Hudson is our little man. He is just the best baby ever. He is silly and fun, and he's very curious and like observant. He's just such a sweet baby. So we had him in December, and the early couple weeks of mommyhood were really hard for me. I had a lot of anxiety. Just the whole recovery bit was just tough. I talked a lot about it on my Instagram stories, but I didn't save a ton of it. What I did dive deeper into and save was my birth story. So that is in my Instagram highlights. I'll see if I can link directly to a highlight. I'm pretty sure I can do that. If not, I'll figure something out, but I'll make a note in the description box. Also, the whole breastfeeding journey was really hard and did not work out for me. So that's a long story too, and I have a whole blog post about it. So diving into like healthy formula options, and now looking at baby-led weaning versus purees versus this versus that, and feeding our son, coming from just like more of a health-minded person, but also a speech language pathologist. We work with feeding. So all of that has been so much fun for me, the whole development piece with Hudson. It's just been so much fun. I love being a mom. It's hard work, like balancing everything. You know, if you're a mom, or you don't have to be a mom to understand that. Like, I know everybody gets it. It's hard work, the balancing act, but it's so much fun. So we just love him. I know you guys got to see a sneak of him in the 4th of July video, but I'll definitely show more of him here on my YouTube as I get into more just like kind of day in the life, like laid back videos. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. I really want to sit down, just kind of like make sure this all flowed. If somebody came to my YouTube channel and was like, wait a second, like what happened to this like big gap here? Go check out my Instagram, look at my story highlights if you'd like, but otherwise, let me know what you want to see here from me. I'm excited to talk. Ooh, one big thing I'm really excited to share more about that's been kind of hard to like really dive into on Instagram stories, and I haven't written a blog post about, is losing the baby weight. I gained plenty of weight. I was really healthy. I felt like I was really healthy during pregnancy, but and like I ate really nutrient dense foods. I was very focused on that, but I ate a lot of nutrient dense foods, I guess, because, or maybe my body just wanted to gain a lot of weight, but I gained weight. And so I've lost all but a few pounds of that, and I'm really proud of that, but it's, Hudson is 6 months old now. It's taken all that time. So you know, I'm still on that journey, but I've done it the slow and steady way versus in my past, I've, you know, if there were times where I wanted to lose a good amount of weight, it wasn't always the healthiest. So that's been a fun journey that I like to share more of because I'm still kind of on it. And you know, just the different things I've done to lose that weight. So yeah, I've got lots of ideas, very excited to be here sharing with you guys again. I just realized I've been looking at the screen and not the actual camera the whole time. So I've got things to learn with YouTube because, like I said, I've gotten comfortable on camera, but that's like my phone, not necessarily this camera. So I got a little stabilizer because the last video I was like, this is very shaky. I'm a shaky person as is, but then like holding the actual camera, I was like, that was not a good idea. So I got a little thing to hold. I'm gonna work things out. If you have advice for me or you're like, hey, this person, this YouTuber, they posted a video about their camera gear, let me know. I would love to know. Would love your feedback, and I'm just excited to be here sharing. I will talk to you more soon, and I'm gonna stop talking for now. Okay.